This is what my Valentine's Day looked like last year. And I wanted to see if the American Express Concierge, which I pay almost $700 a year for, could be more romantic than me. So I contacted the concierge through the chat feature and asked for 3 things: restaurant recommendations, flower shops, and some gift ideas. And compare it to the ideas I come up with to truly see if the concierge service is worth your time and money. And I know the concierge service is included with the American Express Platinum or Centurion card, but the service has to be worth something, right? So for restaurants, the information I gave was this reservation would be for 2 guests, me and my wife, open to any type of cuisine. However, with the preference to Mediterranean food, you know, like gyros or kebabs. Doesn't sound too high class of food, but this Lebanese restaurant in Jackson Hole would prove you wrong, with my allergies being crab and lobster, which I recently learned about when I took my trip to Baltimore last year, and with a preferred time around 6 p.m. with the flexibility between 5 to 7, with the absolute latest time at 8 p.m. I'm old now, I can't stay out late anymore. Oh, and just a note, if you want to use the Amex Concierge to book a reservation for you, you must give them your phone number, email, and your 4-digit CVV on the front of your Platinum or Centurion card. And it must be either the Platinum or Centurion card, can't be any other Amex or other credit card. Actually forgot about this, so a tip I now use: save all that information in a locked note on your phone, so if you need it, you'll have it. And here's what they came up with: Epping's on East Side, the Rack House Tavern, and Jean's Ferris Winery and Bistro. For Valentine's Day, Jean Ferris was offering a 4-course meal experience, and it didn't look like a bad option. Quite cute actually. But $85 per person was kinda steep. And besides, I think we would both feel pretty awful eating a 4-course meal. Once I've actually tried to eat a 6-course meal with 3 people, way too much food. Eating 2 separate 4-course meals? Forget about it. Definitely have to try this place one day, but Valentine's Day was not that day, in my opinion. Next, the Rack House Tavern. Being completely honest, I was cautious of this option because it was connected to a hotel, and usually, based on my experience, hotel restaurants usually don't compare to a standalone mom and pop restaurant, but I wanted to give it a chance. And it was interesting. Gave more of a lounge type feel based on the seating, which isn't a bad thing, just an observation. However, the issue I did have was half of their menu was mostly sandwiches. Honestly, didn't look too interesting, probably pretty greasy for a Valentine's date. If it was some normal Saturday, I would have tried it, but not today. Last we have is Epping's. Now this looked excellent. There was a variety of different dishes. You could get a steak, fish, lamb kebabs, or curry. They even had a little bakery. Anything your little heart wanted, they basically had it. Also, the dishes were very well plated. The restaurant looked like a lounge type style, but was set up like a restaurant. The vibes were perfect. Only one issue: Epping's wasn't open when the Amex concierge called them. They actually suggested to book a reservation on my own to secure a reservation before it got booked up. But by the time I tried to book the reservation on my own, there were no more slots left. For restaurant recommendations, I would have called that a fail. But actually, the concierge gave me another and I believe a more amazing idea. However, before we get into that, let's see what the Amex concierge recommended for flowers. Can't have Valentine's Day without flowers, right? Here were 4 options recommended by the Amex concierge: Michaeler's, Imperial Flowers Lexington, ORAM Flowers, and Flowers by Angie. Flowers by Angie isn't a bad option. However, when looking at the photos of the flowers, they looked professional, even perfect. Almost lifeless, sort of reminded me of a stock photo of flowers. I'm sure in person, I doubt they would look like that, but I just didn't want to take the chance. Then we got ORAM Flowers. In my opinion, they looked like they had awesome flowers and designs, and I was actually very close to ordering these. It looked very unique, and it wasn't a bad price. However, for Valentine's Day, the shipping was half the cost of the flowers with no pickup options at checkout. Plus, I know the apartment I'm currently living at can be hard to find the specific unit. Sometimes Amazon drivers can't even find my apartment. I just didn't want to take the chance. Next up, we got Imperial Flowers. And I'm going to be completely honest, the website really turned me away. I know it shouldn't be the reason because I'm here to buy flowers, but the website was very busy with a bunch of tiny text everywhere and weird spacing. I just didn't want to deal with it. Lastly, we got Michaeler's. Now this was interesting. I was looking around on their website and then I saw Kentucky Native Cafe. I was thinking, what? They work with a cafe to provide them flowers? Or maybe the cafe is built into the flower shop. What's going on here? I have to learn more. And oh my god, this was perfect. It was the cutest little cafe inside of a greenhouse they use to grow plants. Genius. But I'll go more into the cafe later. As for flowers, they were kinda expensive. However, since I was planning on going there for the cafe anyways, I was thinking if my wife wanted to pick up anything, we'll just pick it up after we eat. Simple, right? But what I ended up doing, I'll tell you the story right after I finish telling you what the Amex concierge recommended for a gift. All I told him was my wife likes plushies and cats. Personally, I was thinking of getting those custom Etsy cat related gifts, like a stuffed animal or maybe even an art piece. But let's see what the concierge had to say, and I was kinda disappointed. They recommended getting a stuffed stuffed animal from Douglas. Interesting choice. They are one of the oldest and most respected plushie manufacturer, according to them, but I was not impressed at all. They definitely had some cute stuffed animals, like this cat sushi or dragon fruit stuffed animal, but they looked like they were made for literal babies. Maybe I'm wrong, but I decided to pass for a more personal gift, something related to what my wife actually likes. These kind of gifts, to be frank, remind me of what you buy for your mistress. Now that you've seen what the Amex Concierge recommended, here's what really happened on Valentine's Day. So last year I bought flowers from Whole Foods. Nothing special about the flowers, but they were available and decently priced. The flowers I bought this year costed me only $10. Kinda sad, but it was the morning and I was not thinking. But I did want to get non-red roses just because my wife seemed to have an allergic reaction to the flowers I gave her last year. But I highly regret getting these flowers. However, my wife liked them, so cool. Other gifts I got her was this card which I got from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was cute. I honestly don't see too much of a point buying an expensive card. Just spend $1.25. Unless it's like really awesome. And this Tom Nook Build-A-Bear, which was a twofer, because not only does my wife love Animal Crossing, she has every game, but it was another activity included in the purchase. Because later in the day we can get them stuffed together at a Build-A-Bear store. Hey, I thought it was genius. Overall she liked everything, but definitely not comparable to what I got last year. But maybe I can make it up with lunch. And me and my wife decided we would rather do Valentine's lunch rather than dinner. For two reasons. We prefer to have a larger lunch than dinner. I don't know. We both just don't feel great eating such a heavy dinner so close to bed. But maybe that's just us. Second reason, to avoid the Valentine's Day traffic. I wasn't looking forward to that. Everyone bumping shoulders, stressed out waiters and waitresses. Pass. What we ended up doing is going to, like I said before, the Michler's Flower Shop for lunch. Specifically their cafe, which was called the Kentucky Native Cafe. And let me tell you, I think I redeemed myself with this one. From the parking lot, you're invited in with this gateway that brings you back to nature. When entering the outdoor area of the cafe, you're greeted by this beautiful wooden pathway. Unfortunately, it was wintertime, but can you imagine what this place would have looked like during the spring or summer? Probably magic. But like I said, it was winter. So only the winter inside part was actually available, which was cool because it was sort of cold outside anyways. But let me show you how cool the inside part of the cafe looks. Amazing. This is where the counter is to place your order, with the drink menu on the left and the dinner menu on the right, currently covered by a plant, because of course we came during lunch. The lunch menu is actually the thing in the middle. Very reasonable prices. My wife got the roasted veggie with hummus on za'atar bread, and I got the cumin, chickpea, and goat cheese on baguette. I seriously almost got the gelato, but nah. It's too early. It was like 12:30 p.m. I like the feeling of eating ice cream at night rather than day in my opinion, but I really wanted it. Along with an order of grapefruit soda for me, and my wife ordered a pomegranate spritzer. Came out to a total of $29.33, including a 15% tip. Not bad at all for a cutesy place. Where else can you go for $15 per meal with this kind of atmosphere? My wife said this place cured her depression for a day, so A+. Total win. And let me tell you, the price of the meal doesn't only go to the cost of the scenery, but the actual food was great. My chickpea sandwich was amazingly flavored. That goat cheese made everything taste melted together, with the bread being firm yet soft at the same time. And surprisingly, the salad on the side, the sauce they drizzled on it, could not be better. Way worth the $8.73 I paid for it. And my wife's roasted veggie hummus sandwich, I would say was even better than mine, with the hummus blending all the taste together with strong seasonings. A ton of flavor infused in this sandwich, topped off with a perfectly lightly toasted bread. Amazing. And to wash it down, the grapefruit soda with a nice fizz and a bit of sour, but not overly sour, with the pomegranate spritzer giving an excellent subtle sweet taste with light fizz. 10 out of 10. After we were done eating, of course we just sort of sat there to take in the atmosphere a bit, but after we were ready to get up, we also got a free botanical garden tour. Man, I really wanted to get one of these bonsai trees, but I know I can't take care of it. They also sold so many different plants. Citrus fruits, coconut trees, even pineapples. Did you know pineapples grow like this? That's crazy. Along with some seasoning plants like rosemary. And we were so close to buying these little succulents for my wife to keep on her desk, but we were worried the cats would get themselves sick chewing on them, so unfortunately we didn't get it. My wife was also happy with her flowers, so we didn't get anything. However, she did want to get some coffee. Unfortunately, we happened to actually pass this cute little Italian coffee shop called Far Out Espresso, just down the street from the cafe. The drinks were okay, but man, those cannolis are to die for. I got this salted caramel flavored cannoli, and I've never eaten a better cannoli than this one. A light fluffy filling with crunchy sugar, drizzled caramel, and that crust part of the cannoli, so soft, so fresh. couldn't be better. But back to the car so we can go to the next place. Beautiful wall. Horse. Tesla. The next place we went was Build-A-Bear. And let me tell you, my wife was very excited to get Mr. Tom Nook filled. She was asking all day when we would get him filled. That would be right now. One thing Build-A-Bear does really well is actually stuff their stuffed animals. Add a little heart. It's also just fun to make these every once in a while. Looks great. Now what to do for dinner? We went to Whole Foods to pick up some ingredients. I asked my wife what she wanted. All she didn't want was steak. Alright, well salmon was on sale. Specifically, it happened to be her favorite flavor. Jalapeno popper was on sale, with my Prime membership reducing the price to $11.33 per pound. We also picked up some pastries for dessert later, if we wanted it. I got a cannoli not as good as the one I had for lunch, and this thing. Not sure what it was, but I wanted to try it. And it actually wasn't bad. Hard to describe. Kinda that satisfying feeling of eating a lightly burnt steak, but as a dessert. I think I'm trying to say charred, if that makes any sense. But what I ended up making for dinner was the salmon sitting on top of a bed of rice, with a side of black pepper peppers lightly marinated in soy sauce, and a side of kale also marinated in soy sauce. Wasn't bad. The jalapeno popper sauce was very reminiscent of the inside of a jalapeno popper. The flavors though, in my opinion, did not blend well with the salmon. All the sides were basic, nothing too special I haven't made myself before. Just a nice meal to finish off this nice day. Overall, my wife was very satisfied. 100% not comparable to the Valentine's Day I planned in DC, but I think I set the bar too high for her expectations. Would I say the Amex concierge service is useful? It's nice to give ideas, definitely. I wouldn't have found the Greenhouse Cafe without the concierge service. Other than that, it was okay. You're okay with mostly basic options. I can't blame them too much though, because they only have about 30 minutes to spend per request, or else they would be heavily backlogged. So I get it. So I would say use it to get ideas, then use your own judgment. And I'll see you later.